Okay, okay, this is good. Showing a quick video from my friend Cortez, also known as Hernando Cortez, and he's a good friend of mine and also my mentor and business partner as well, in a sense. So, here's a video that he posted of someone who he may be associated with, I believe. And this is my actually first time checking it out with you. I just clicked on it just a few seconds ago and it started to sound good. So I'm about to do that again.
Then don't vote for them. That's on you. Why is wealth important? Your wealth will determine where you live. Where you live will determine where your children go to school. Where your children go to school will determine the quality of your children's higher education, and the quality of your children's higher education will determine their lifelong earnings. And your children's lifelong earnings will determine where your children live. And where your children live will determine where your grandchildren go to school. And where your grandchildren go to school will determine the quality of your grandchildren's higher education, and that will determine their life. Do you see the cycle of poverty here? Why is wealth important? Dr. Boyce spoke so eloquently, so fabulously, so granularly of this. That in a market-based economy, in a democratic capitalistic society, in case no one has told you, the only color that really matters is green! So until our pile of green is as big and as high and as deep and as wide and as leveraged as any other cultural group's pile of green, we will never be considered an equal at the table of democratic capitalism. Why is wealth important? Because when we finish pontificating ad nauseum about our issues, somebody's got to write a check.
Right.
Our Jewish brothers and sisters can write a check. Our Asian brothers and sisters can write a check. Our Arab brothers and sisters can write a check. I've been to Dubai lately, and they can write some serious checks. Stupid money. They got stupid money. We can't write a check. Let me say that differently. We cannot even convene our people unless somebody else writes the check. Ask the NAACP. Ask the Congressional Black Caucus, which I've spoken at for 41 years straight. Ask the Urban League. If somebody else wasn't writing the check, we couldn't even meet. We must fix this in the 21st century. So I'm going to tell you a secret that no CPA will tell you. The tax system was set up for the landowner and the business owner. The landowner and the business owner. So if we don't own land, and we own the fewest number of homes per capita of any cultural group in this country, and we came over here on the Mayflower. And we don't own businesses, and we own the fewest number of businesses per capita of any cultural group in this country. And again, we came over here on the Mayflower. You cannot fully exploit the American tax system. The American tax system will exploit you. It's one of the reasons Mitt Romney, back in the day, when he was running against Obama, did not want you to see his tax returns. Why? Not because he did anything illegal. It's because he's a big-time landowner, big-time business owner, and he used the benefits of that land ownership and business owner to pay a micro percentage of tax, far less tax on a percentage basis than you and I will ever pay. America is about equity and ownership, and the idea that the black community can exercise effective power, and I think you said this, boys, political or otherwise, without simultaneously exercising economic power is a fantasy. That capitalism without capital is just ism.
That's right.
So the question becomes for us, or the statement, there can be no collective will and vision without a strong sense of identity. And there can be no strong sense of identity without a unifying purpose. So the question then is, what are we unified around? What is the next big thing? What is the third and final moral imperative and moral assignment? The first two, freedom. The second was civil rights, voting rights, and public access. The third, as far as I'm concerned, is economic development, wealth creation, closing of the income and wealth gap. So, because when we look at the world today, we will see that powerful nations and powerful people are producing people and not just consuming people. And as I've often said in my many speeches around the country, you cannot consume yourself into equality, and you cannot consume yourself into power. And those people who depend upon consumption will see as they consume the products of others and do not produce for themselves will ultimately be consumed by others. Therefore, in the 21st century, the goal for us as a community must be to become a community of owners and savers instead of a community of consumers and renters.